So, after this beautiful presentation by Samantha, let me add just a few words before kicking off this event. As per tradition, we will start with a musical moment with Eleonora Murgia. However, it is not just about starting on the right note. Listening to music brings us back to the broader concept of art. And by mental association, if only in the mind of a scientist like me, art brings me also back to science. There are indeed human activities that require both art and science. That is, they require combining both the creativity and the intuition of an artistic activity and the precision and rigor of the method of science. I believe that this combination between art and science, between intuition and creativity, and the analytical and methodological skills of science is increasingly necessary in the complex world in which we live. Otherwise, we will not make it through the great challenges of the historical moment where humanity stands on the brink of a global collapse. Speaking of collapse, let me remind you that six planetary critical boundaries have already been largely exceeded. I'm talking about the boundaries that are fundamental to maintaining the stability and resilience of the Earth's system as a whole. These include loss of biodiversity, pollution, carbon emissions, and depletion of freshwater resources. All this is leading us to encounter a singularity, that is, a point of unpredictability of our future. Samantha rightly evoked the concept of greenwashing. Just as there is the term greenwashing, the term collapse washing has also recently been coined, to be understood as forms of communication that hide the undesirable effects of strategies that supposedly reduce the risk of such collapse, but which in fact go in the opposite direction. In other words, we must remain alert. We don't have to blindly believe everything we are told, but neither should we disregard all the valuable information that is out there or be indifferent to all the good that's been done. On the contrary, we must encourage it. We need a vision of the future that is not heir to the corruption of the past, but at the same time does not lead us to lower our arms, thinking that anyway, there is nothing more we can do to stop the coming disaster. Let us try with humility to implement those solutions that are really viable. Every country, every society, company, individual can set an example and in this way increase the positive imitative mechanism. Regarding human rights, which are also a focus of this year's event, let us also seek to promote the free debate of ideas and fight all forms of censorship, so that today global crisis does not turn into a democratic crisis. Change should be promoted, but it cannot be imposed. Otherwise, to solve one problem, we will end up creating an even bigger one. For example, that of a society of permanent control. We need to combine the sensitivity of art and the effectiveness of science and human innovation. But how to do it? The sine qua non for succeeding, in my opinion, is to open ourselves to a more spiritual view of life. For only in a search for meaning can we come to a more mature and less conflicting view of the world, contemplating how the different aspects of life are interconnected and interdependent. Only by valuing evolution also in a consciential sense will we be able to overcome the current divisions. This will foster a broader and deeper understanding of the problems we are required to solve and enable us to identify solutions that are truly within our grasp, while respecting universal human values. Solutions that are not only technically effective, but also morally and ethically acceptable. It is ultimately about finding a greater balance between mind and heart. Thank you.